Hi, everybody.
Hey.
We are back. BookMark is
Hello.
back. LinkedIn is back. Cloudflare is back. This is December, which means that we are with the last edition of Ask Us Anything about LinkedIn, your place to ask anything you want to know about the professional network. Luckily, we are online now. We tried to be a couple of minutes ago, but unfortunately, nobody could be. Together with me, I'm Juliana, partner at Bookmark. Together with me are Maria Nicole. Yes, we are back, thankfully. Maria Nicole, Elena, and Emmanuel. Today we're going to share some news about LinkedIn. We'll make a small recap, and we are going to speak probably about what we're going to see or what we wish to see on LinkedIn. So we start with Emmanuel. Although we have two ladies in the in this life. Hi, Emo. I know you're hungry, so we start with you today. What
I'm
do you want?
just counting. It's like 92 seconds so far of me staying silent. It's kind of a world record,
Okay.
probably, considering our live streams and our internal meetings. Hello, everyone. I will probably be brave enough to say Dobar den to everyone who's listening from Bulgaria. It's a pleasure once again to be back on those live streams, as I was absent for um, quite a few months due to different reasons. We have quite a lot of topics that we have prepared for today, from LinkedIn to LinkedIn, going around LinkedIn. We'll eventually speak about LinkedIn at some point, but yeah, you got the idea. I have the mic in my literally. I have the mic in my hands right now, and the first and probably the most important topic that I have figured out yesterday evening actually was I was actually a bit of storytelling. I was at an event in Sofia, in the capital of Bulgaria, and the event was connected to how the business and the art can connect, and where is the common ground between um, those two things. And actually, the artists there at the event, there were different sort of artists, like actors, like painters, and some other positions in terms of the theater, in terms of the cinema. They asked me several times, all right, LinkedIn is great, but how can we benefit from LinkedIn? And how can we actually extract the people from LinkedIn to do something else? For example, put them into a different platform, let's say YouTube, Instagram, or something else, or even bring them to the cinemas or to the theaters. Just make the contact more physical. So this is actually what I was thinking. How can we actually benefit from LinkedIn in our real life? How can we benefit, and how can we meet the people we are interacting with every single day in person? Yesterday, actually, I shared three ideas with the actors and with all the participants at the event. I will later give the floor to the ladies to share if they have anything else to add. First and foremost, it's a matter of three things. The first one is time. Uh, Time is needed in order to build a solid ground base on eventually um, which you can eventually monetize at some point, and which you can extract from LinkedIn to the other platforms. I'm doing this myself. Um, all the followers I have on LinkedIn, all the connections I have on LinkedIn, at some point when they start interacting with me, I'm always trying to put them into at least one more channel of mine, no matter if it's email marketing, no matter if it's Instagram, no matter if it's eventually TikTok at some point, no matter if it's an event I'm speaking to, or a random coffee meeting, or some sort of a lunch or dinner outside, just to get to know the people better. So it takes time. to build over what you have done so far. The second, and probably we can agree here, the most important is consistency. It takes consistency to time and consistency actually they go hand by hand, or as it's said in Spanish, I will mano el mano, and we'll explain a bit later why I'm referring to the Spanish. Nick will probably give us some insights here. It takes consistency to be it takes consistency to be able to build a personal brand. Actually, yesterday one of the questions from the artists were um, w- is it a good time to purchase or to subscribe for LinkedIn Premium? I just told them no. It takes time, and you will feel when the time has come. You will feel when you need a premium. You will see and feel when you need better interactions with your followers. Currently, you're on the ground level, and you need to build over to reach a specific limit. And probably the last and most important thing is to have a proper value proposition, to have something that the others don't, so you can bring the people to you and you can actually sell them something. The best approach, at least from my side, is to have three different offers for the three different types of people. As in studies, it has been researched that there are three different types of purchasing that people are doing: emotionally slash rationally, and rationally. Emotionally, it means that people don't really think about the price, so it's a bit cheaper than the other two services or products you offer. The second one is kind of in the middle, kind of in the gray zone. It costs some money, but not that much, so people would think about the offer a bit, but not that much. And the last one is something a bit more expensive that would cost the people more money, but will bring them better value and uh, more results in the end. So having value proposition, having consistency, and investing your time, you can actually take the people from LinkedIn to the other platforms or to the offline world. Ladies, what do you think about this? Have you ever yourself tried to interact with people and to bring them outside of LinkedIn? Do you have any other ideas that can benefit from our listeners? And yeah, Gigi.
Yeah, it takes time to unmute the microphone always. Actually, I was going to ask Kylie because she's the artist among us, although Nikki is also very creative. But anyway,
Uh,
since I took the mic, I'll just share something small. And Ellie, I'll ask you then. I think that first, yes, people who don't use LinkedIn and have never thought to have a LinkedIn profile have asked me whether their place is on LinkedIn, and what I usually point to them is that probably first of all they have surely stories to tell there, and then second, if they think that their niche is too small, probably that's an opportunity to shine and to stand out. As for being on the other platforms, yes, of course, we saw the best example and motive for that just minutes ago when LinkedIn went down. So it's always good to have plan B, and having an audience uh, in different channels is something probably you would like to have, because yeah, the majority is present on several platforms, but there are people who are present on one platform and they are not on the other. So if you want to reach wider audience, still relevant to you, think about where these people are.
It's pretty much like the
yeah.
podcast. There are some sort of listeners that only listen to the audio, so they prefer Spotify. There are people who prefer audio and video who listen to YouTube. There are others who are, I will call them boomers, who only use LinkedIn. So different people tend to choose different platforms. So yeah, it's better if you are positioned in different social medias, so you can benefit.
Yeah, I would like to share a personal experience, by the way, outside of my expertise. But I recently had a few posts that went sort of viral on LinkedIn, and I noticed that that was one, maybe the second time where I noticed that people were actively searching my name on other platforms and adding me there, because obviously they proactively decided to search me somewhere else, which maybe if your content is useful enough for a certain person, they will proactively go. And that's something that I think is rare. So it's our, maybe our responsibility to ourselves, we proactively, lead people to add us on other platforms in some way. So yeah. I
Okay.
don't know what you think about it, because that's not my expertise. Of course, I'm not, and I'm not usually that active on LinkedIn. For example, I try to post when I have something to say, of course, about design, and of course about stuff we discuss in the company. So yeah.
Nikki, what do you think? I know you have presence on different platforms. I even make mistakes with your
Many profiles.
many profiles. Yeah.
Well, I can't add anything on the topic of how you can lead people from one social media to another, but what can I say for sure is that it is really important for a person to be present on many social media channels, just because what happened a while ago, a few minutes ago, LinkedIn went down. So, what happens if a social media goes down for a long time? What would you do? You need to be present somewhere else. And as someone who is studying art management now, and as a person who has been on social media, working with social media for almost 5 years already, I can say that it is really important for artists, and not only for artists, but for everyone, to be active on many platforms, just because different platforms, just as Emu said, they attract different people. So this will present you to a broader audience that you can't reach only being only on Instagram or only on LinkedIn, etc.
Yep. Emma, did we answer your
Yeah,
question?
pretty much. Thank you for the intake. Thank you for the added value. I appreciate it. Um, Actually, it's a topic that can be discussed probably with hours. And there are different opinions that would always appear during and throughout each conversation. But the most important thing is to stay present, no matter the platform. And if you are deciding and trying to build some presence on the platform, just be present. Don't post something and disappear for 2 weeks, as we have pretty great examples of people who do so. So yeah, stay present, and it takes time, but in the end, I promise it's sweet, as it's as a common proverb in Bulgarian.
Thanks, Emma. Nikki, what do you have to say about the gender balance on the platform?
Well, let's talk about genders now. Have you ever asked yourself what it actually takes for your content to perform well on LinkedIn? Because there are some pillars that decide whether a post will perform good or not. But have you ever wondered if your gender is related to the success of your post? Why I'm asking that? Because there was, I can't call it a scandal, but there was a topic of discussion recently on LinkedIn. Some women conducted an experiment where they changed their profile settings, the gender settings to male, and the pronouns and the names. They pretended to be men on LinkedIn and started posting content pretending to be men. And they called that bro-coded content using more, I can't call them male phrases, but you know the type: driving transformation, unlocking potential, scaling with intent, and everything. They used the hashtag we are the pants, if I remember correctly, and they pretended to be men. And what did they see from that? What they saw was that they had huge success on their content. There was about, they reported, some of them reported 700 percent increase in impressions. Others saw 1,600 more profile views. And this raised the question: does the algorithm boost posts from men more than the female ones? LinkedIn officially responded to that. And LinkedIn said that the algorithm and the AI systems, they don't use gender and stuff like that to decide if a post is good or not. And the performance is decided from other factors like timing, engagement patterns, the people in your network, and everything, how often you post. As Samu just said, you have to be consistent. And from LinkedIn's perspective, there is no gender bias in the algorithm. But what is my opinion on that case is that, let's admit it, we live in a patriarchy. Especially when it comes to business and entrepreneurship. I think that people tend to trust men more in these fields. So maybe if the algorithm itself doesn't boost the male posts more, maybe people tend to trust men more when it comes to such topics. But there is another point of view about the consistency again. These women, when they conducted the experiment, we can't know that, but let's say that for the experiment, they posted more often than they did before. So it's logical that if you haven't been consistent before, your content wouldn't have performed that well. And now, if you, let's say, had 3 posts this week, your profile will explode with engagement and everything. So maybe there is really no gender bias, but the consistency is key. I personally haven't pretended to be a man on LinkedIn. But what I have noticed about my content here is that every time I post something where I have mentioned emo or I have a photo with emo, these posts perform much better than my other posts. But I don't think that this is because Sam is a man, but because he's famous. So, what's the key intake here? Just don't pretend to be someone else. Don't try to change your gender on the platform in order to get more engagement, but use your network, post consistently, and mention people and brands you're talking about. Because this way they will engage with your content, and the people in their networks, in the networks of the people you have mentioned in the content, they will also see your post, and this way it will reach more people. So yes, what do you think about that?
As a man myself, I just feel obliged. Even especially considering the fact that my name was mentioned somewhere in the conversation. I feel obliged to share my point of view. Well, I personally agree with you at some points. The others, actually, it's not you. It's the research of those ladies that have been mentioned. Um, for me, if you are a woman, you have automatically won the battle of the gender, in terms of even man and a woman share the same post and they have the same network size. The woman's post would definitely perform better. I can I can say that in terms of all my experience with the different people, with different profiles that I have worked with. Of course, there are always exclusions of what I'm saying. If the person who is a man is some sort of a business leader, as Nick said, if the person, for example, has a developed network as I do, there can be some exclusions here, but definitely if you're a woman and if you especially share um, yourself in the post, as Nick said, a picture of you, a picture of you and some other people, and the post would tend to perform better. About the news, doesn't really matter if you're a man or a woman. It matters how developed your network is. If my network wasn't developed, I'm confident that Nikki's post wouldn't be that well performing in terms of tagging me or mentioning me or something like this. Doesn't matter if it's on the photo, if it's in the text or so on and so forth. So yeah, just have a developed network and make sure to tag people with such networks. Of course, if they are featuring the post, or if they are some sort of present in the topic you're discussing, don't tag someone just for the sake of it, just to drag some attention to your profile, but always mention people wisely and with some sort of a precision here. So yeah.
Yeah, I would. I was going to add that because I have seen a lot of trying to hack the system, tagging people who have great networks, and of course it would be great to grab their attention. But if it's not authentic and it's visible that it's just for the sake of tagging them, yeah, it won't work. So don't try to cheat. Ellie, you had something to add here or not?
No, I generally agree with them also. I'm surprised to hear that, to roll back to that women are more, um, perform better women's posts, according to, if we look at two identical people with identical, let's say they have an identical connections and visibility, that women would perform better. I think that the gender bias is real to some extent when it comes to expertise. So I have, like, especially the older generations think that, when I've even heard that from my own mother, she has casually said that she trusts male doctors more than female, which is weird. Uh, for us. But so I think that's a bias. But aside from that, I don't think that, this research is very interesting, and we should definitely try to do it in our own work. Well, maybe we should organize a week-long gender swap between the teams to see what happens, and with everything, like changing the profile pictures too, to see what happens. But of course, the so-called study, it should be, if it's a study, it should be very way more, scientifically constructed with, uh, of course, with the, as we said, as Nikki said, with the, um, uh, tracking how many times you post versus how many times you posted when you were with your original gender. So that's very important, of course. So
Yeah, let me just remind our audience that you're very welcome to join us. And if you have a contrary opinion or you support the opinion you hear here, please leave a comment, and we're going to show it on the screen. Yeah, it's interesting indeed, but we won't dedicate the whole life to that, although it's a topic that can be prolonged, surely. Ellie, since you were with the mic so far, what do you want to share in the last Ask Us Anything About LinkedIn Live? Do you have a recap or something else for us?
well, yes, since we are kind of we had a little bit, we were a little bit late with the stream. I wanted to, of course, because we can talk about design trends and so on, but LinkedIn is a very specific platform. And I wanted to first talk about the AI and the situation there, because what I noticed in other platforms more than LinkedIn is some sort of an aversion to AI. And this is the trend for 2026, for definitely a trend for sure. That's about very focus on AI. So your personal brand or your company has a stance on whether you're pro using AI tools or not. Like it's not explicit, but it's visible. So for example, when you go to other platforms, and I've noticed that personally with my posts, people commenting, especially if they're younger people, commenting that they don't like they don't like me using AI in my designs, and me having to defend in a way using AI. And that's something that's very prominent on TikTok, less prominent on Instagram, and then we won't talk about other platforms. So, YouTube is a whole different area. But when it comes to LinkedIn, as a contrast, they don't. People are not that specific with their stance on AI, and that I think that comes from first of all because many people are from the older generation, so they're not Gen Z is not so active on LinkedIn overall. And then also because people on LinkedIn are more focused on efficiency. So people think that if they can quickly generate something, that then the job is done, then they can go and do other stuff. So they generate, and there's more people are more okay with generating stuff on LinkedIn. And I want to say that as a graphic designer, that's something that that's you have to be careful about, because maybe you could annoy people if you constantly generate things. If you don't have a graphic designer at your disposal, like if you don't hire somebody to check your posts, you can very quickly annoy your audience with things that are obviously generated and they don't add value or aesthetics into the conversation. That's very important for your content when it comes to the visuals. Of course, if you want to, when we talk about text, that's something else, but visual wise, very important. So I say that one of the biggest trends in 2026 that you can watch for in graphic design is human versus AI, and be sure that whatever you use, you sound human. That's in short what I wanted to say. Back to you, Didi.
You know that what distinguishes human from anything artificial is our possibility and better said, inability not to make mistakes. So we always make mistakes. So probably not being perfect 100% every time is something that will show that you're a human. We are close to lunch, and I'm already a bit hungry, thinking of chocolate. And that reminds me, my favorite advent calendars, which, well, personally, my favorite are with chocolate. Not sure about you. Um, Maybe you have another one. Nikki, what's your favorite advent calendar?
I also love the chocolate ones. I also love the tea ones and the beer ones and all the other great things that you can eat and drink. But I also love those advent calendars that not only bring pleasure but value and knowledge and everything. So, speaking of knowledge and value, we at BookMark have an advent calendar as every year, but last year our advent calendar was focused on profile optimization. Every day for 24 days in December, we sent a newsletter with tips and tricks for people to optimize their profiles. And this year we decided to do something different. And what did we do? We decided to go through all of the events that happened on LinkedIn with LinkedIn through 2025, and we have prepared 12 days of important, in our opinion, things that defined this platform, the professional network, the most important events that happened shaping the professional network and everything. So make sure you subscribe to our advent calendar because we're starting next week.
Thanks, Nikki. We're going to leave a comment with the link where people can subscribe. Emo, I think you have something to add here. Or
Actually, I was just going to mention that we're starting on Monday for 12 days straight. So up until 20th of December. And just going to repeat if because I had a bit of a delay, if Nikki didn't mention it, but we're going to share all the recent news in terms of LinkedIn. Recent in terms of the last 12 months. It's kind of recent to us, but probably the majority of the people missed some of them. So in case you are wondering what happened on LinkedIn, the most important things on the platform in terms of new updates, in terms of internal changes, make sure to check out the adult calendar. You will receive it. Nikki, can we mention some time of the day, like before noon, afternoon?
I think that it will arrive on the afternoons.
In the afternoons, all right. So expect, if you subscribe, expect it in the afternoons, and make sure to share it with your friends, as probably they have missed the important information about LinkedIn as well.
And if I can add something, I already said that these are the 12 most important things about LinkedIn from our point of view. So you can add right now in the comments, or you can reply to our newsletter next week if you want. But we are curious to know what are, in your opinion, the things that defined the network this year, and something that you expect to see in the newsletter or something. Because let's say, for example, there was a cute update that didn't make it to the advent calendar, but I loved it very much.
Almost, almost there.
Ho promesso a Emu che oggi io parlerò in italiano. What I just said is that I promised Emu that I will speak in Italian at this live, and this is because my favorite LinkedIn update that didn't make it to the calendar is the option to add your Duolingo score on LinkedIn. So I have been learning Italian with Duolingo for 2 years now. I can't enter a business meeting in Italian yet, but I can order in a restaurant. They understand me, I understand them. But what's the point? If you go to the language section in my profile, you can see Italian Duolingo score 60, and this is the most you can get as a score. So yes, I'm bragging right now.
Grazie Niki, tutto bene.
Prego.
I was just a bit worried that you sweared, Emo, and yeah, I was going to.
We know the swear words. We have discussed them and trained them in the last couple of days when we were together at some events. So yeah,
Yeah,
there.
the photo with the beers. Yeah,
Especially the photo with the beers.
yeah. Please, if you are watching or listening this live, share what you would like to see in our newsletter, or probably your favorite update on the platform from the past months. That would be curious for me. In the next couple of minutes, I will just share something else, which is something new about the let's see, about the networks reports. It's about a report about the small and medium businesses on LinkedIn. LinkedIn made a report with 18 million small businesses comprised of 160 profiles. It's interesting what they found. With the rise of technology and the speed it brings to our lives, and of course with the AI rising literally every day, we see that more and more people are willing to risk and experiment and have their own businesses. How they understand that trend? Because there is a 60% increase in the title founder on LinkedIn year to year, and it's almost triple more than since 2022. So we see many, many more founders on LinkedIn, which is according to the interviews they conducted. That's because people rely on the AI power to lay the foundations of their business. Of course, that's well, not of course, but according to me, it's a good sign that the entrepreneurial spirit is helped, and with the right tools, some great stuff can happen. However, how do you stand out with everybody having access to AI? LinkedIn has suggested three paths for being more successful with this. First, it's using AI for speed and scale. Then it's brand visibility is something that can be underestimated, but having the good brand visibility means having credibility with your audience, which can turn your audience into your customers. And finally, it's about being transformational about what you do. So what stands out in what you do. To wrap up, I'm going to bring the floor to everybody and see maybe what you wish for 2026 on the platform.
I will start as a person who actually started this life in terms of the news. Actually, just today I saw a post from, I believe it was Christina Kostadinova on LinkedIn. She shared something about setting goals for 2026. And I mentioned that I have achieved all my goals, I think, in terms of what I have written myself on a notepad. I have on my computer, every single note I have, every single goal I have set was achieved. So I hope just to achieve the same thing, if not better, next year. And in terms of everyone who listens to us, have a wealthy, have a happy, and have a very, very warm welcoming of the 2026. Enjoy your time with your relatives, and uh, stay active on LinkedIn.
Knowing you, Emo, I don't think you will have the same year as the last one, knowing the dynamic around you, but we'll talk in January, February, probably. Short prediction or wish from you, Nikki?
For my personal development on LinkedIn and everything, what I wish myself is to be more active in terms of video content. And what I wish from LinkedIn for the next year is to have more functions for the videos. We noticed that the video feed that appeared a few months ago sometimes appears again but disappears again, and I'm curious to see if it will appear again as a separate section on LinkedIn. And what I really miss on LinkedIn is music on posts and everything. So I hope that they will think of some function adding a soundtrack to our content there.
LinkedIn engineers listen to that live. Ellie, what do you want to see?
I just, as usual, I just want to grow my network, maybe add some interesting people, and definitely more people from my field, and wish everyone that's listening basically the same. So yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, Ellie. My wish is similar to Emo. I wish you to be healthy and happy and use all the tools you have for growing your business, but keep your personal happiness first. And
I hope that Cloudflare doesn't fall down anymore.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did we show the meme?
Important.
Yeah,
Okay.
just in the beginning. I think we can wrap it up as for today. In case you have any questions, don't forget to DM us both in the comment section or on LinkedIn. We were part of the BookMarks team, and have a great month and great holidays. See ya.
Yes. See you.